book, don't get stuck on sad pages. Rainy days with no money. Hard work lead to days that are sunny. Looking back, it was all needed. The problems, the pain, the trauma, the grieving. You are now tuned into the prisoner to painter. Prisoner to painter. Hard work, dedication. Rainy days, inspiration. Prisoner to painter. And now, a word from your local Pope dealer.
This is always, I know that this is always the part that
All right, and we're live.
perfect. Welcome to the Prisoner to Painter podcast. I'm Nathan McDermott,
And I'm Katie McDermott.
and today joining us is Johnny. How are you, man?
I'm good. How about you guys?
Doing great.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you for showing the courage to come on and tell your story. I commend anybody that comes on. A, because it's hard to talk about yourself, and B, sometimes the stuff that we've been through is even harder to talk about. So thank you.
We did receive the advice to ask who you are and what you do at the beginning of the podcast. Just a little brief synopsis, if you would care to share that.
My name's Johnny. I work for a local nonprofit, specifically in a harm reduction program. Basically, we try to meet addicts where they're at, because I know the struggle. And, we just try to help inspire, keep them safe until they're ready to make a change. It's a dream job, actually.
Awesome.
That's great.
Awesome, man. Being around the community, it seemed you guys do, in my opinion, is some of the most impactful because of the frontline type of work. Like
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Perfect. Right on, man. So here we start from childhood and we work to where you are. I feel like if we talk about childhood, it kind of lays the groundwork to show why you became the way you became, or et cetera. So sometimes I don't use the right words. I don't mean the way you became, but
It shows how you got where you are.
yeah. So in a whole, how would you say your childhood was?
My childhood was pretty good. I had a younger sister. Parents both married. Mom stayed at home. But I seemed to, I guess from what I'm told, or before I can remember, I was always like the rebellious type. I didn't like to be told what to do.
Mhm.
And started early in my early teens, smoking pot.
Yep.
Gradually moved to pills.
Yep.
Then snorting heroin, smoking heroin. And by my early 20s, I was full blown drug user.
Understood. Where did you grow up? Where are you from?
I grew up in Napoleon, Michigan,
Okay.
a small town just east of here.
Me and my mom and dad lived there for 13 years. Did you go to school with Mr. Ash?
I graduated in 1986.
Okay. Understood. Mr. Ash became the principal. Now he owns Aggies. He's kind of known in Napoleon. I figured that. My own opinions I'll keep out of how I feel about
Oh,
it.
you stuck.
But if people know him.
So what was your family dynamic like growing up?
Mom stayed at home. Dad went to work. He was an engineer for Consumers Power.
Awesome.
And then I had a younger sister. For all intents and purposes, it was a normal. There wasn't really anything weird going on.
Okay.
It was a normal upbringing, normal middle class, I guess.
What's your favorite cereal?
Fruity Pebbles.
Fruity Pebbles?
Yeah,
Right. It's a growing trend. That's my favorite. I ask everybody now. We've got a lot of Special K, but Fruity Pebbles is in the lead. So I just
Did you have a favorite TV show growing up?
Speed Racer.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to watch that and Bugs Bunny on Saturday mornings and all the school cartoons.
Living out in Napoleon, did you live on some land? Were you like a farmer or just you lived down there?
No, we lived in a little subdivision right there off M50.
Oh, okay. Right on, man.
Just before town.
Yeah, that little, what is it, like Foxfire or something like that? Like
On the other side.
Oh, okay, right on. Yeah, my mom and dad live off Bedford, so now I'm familiar with
that area well.
Yeah. They live between Wheaton and Stony Lake. We did some stupid shit back there.
Later, when I was early teenager, we moved off of Wheaton.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, man. There was this dog that was left at this corner house, and I don't know why I remember it so vividly, but I opened up the door and took this dog, took him to the pound, and fuck, the people never even noticed. I mean, it was like a month later that they reported their dog missing. And I was like, that says it all, in my opinion.
Right.
Oh man, okay. What? So, well, it seems like for all intents and purposes, your childhood was pretty normal.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Until I got a wild hair, moved out to California, had a child at 18 years old.
Okay.
Moved out to California for 5 years. I was a roofer by trade.
Okay.
You know, it was a good income. Raised my family. You know, considered myself functional.
Mhm.
You know, for a lot of years.
Graduated high school.
Yes, I did.
Awesome. Awesome. What was your favorite subject?
Science and chemistry.
Science, chemistry. Okay, fair enough.
History also.
Okay.
Why specific to science and chemistry?
Well, chemistry kind of served me in my addiction, of course. Science, I just like science, and then history is fascinating to me.
Is the science fascination about like why things are the way they are?
Well, because science is fact based.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's cut and dry, and that's how you learn.
Yeah.
Yep.
Through science and stuff like that. So I'm a learner, I guess.
Did you have a favorite teacher?
Yes, Mr. Schultz.
Mr. Schultz. Okay.
Mr. Schultz.
So here's one of the things we clearly, you can't have the good without the bad. So I always ask, is there a worst memory of childhood?
Yeah, my grandpa died.
Okay.
Yeah, my grandpa died, and I remember him. He was an alcoholic, you know, and that's what eventually killed him.
Mhm.
But I was 7, 8 years old, and I remember getting that notification that he had passed. You know, and he would take me out fishing, and it was a big part of my life. So yeah, that was probably the worst time.
Okay. Before we move on to like you being older and moving and all that, always on the reverse side of what's the worst memory, what's the best memory you've had of childhood?
Just, I guess the best, not having to go through a lot of trauma, I guess.
That's good.
You know,
Yeah.
It's pretty normal, I guess, what you consider normal.
You know, I always try to relate, and I think this is very important, that I think the main consensus is if you had a bad childhood, you were beat on, you become a drug addict. A lot of drug addicts, I had the best childhood that by all purposes, my childhood was great. Yeah, I chose to be a drug addict. That had nothing to do with my upbringing or my parents. I chose to be addiction. That they didn't raise me to be addiction.
For me, it was my rebellious. If you tell me not to do something, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Yep.
That's to me, as I'm looking back, that's where it all started.
Understood.
Is it more of like a you need to find out for yourself type of thing?
Curiosity, yeah, a little bit. I guess it started as that.
Okay. So about how old were you when you started? You said you started smoking weed and then it kind of like progressed into harder things.
Yeah, my teens.
Okay. So just, a lot like me personally, I started smoking weed really early.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a common thing. Did a friend introduce it to you? Did you just pick it up? Did you just decide you were going to do it?
No, it was just with some friends hanging out, and we just let's try this, and we had a good time.
Yeah,
just kind of went from there.
I want to on because this is a question that I feel like I ask all of them. If you were told, so my parents told me drugs are bad, don't do drugs. I did drugs, they were great. I was like, they fucking lied to me. If they would have just told you the truth, do you think you would have been less inclined to go down that path? Drugs are great, but they will ruin your life down in the future. No, fair
I
enough.
was going to do what I was going to do.
Fair enough.
Do you think that marijuana is a gateway drug?
I do not.
And then the last political question that we'll ask, do you think addiction is a disease?
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Absolutely. It's a disease of the mind.
Understood.
And yes, absolutely.
So you graduated, and what made you decide to go out to California?
Opportunities at the time for work. At the time here, work was real slow, and it was basically year-round work out there. I was looking for something, looking for adventure. I was just married, just had a kid, and wanted to change the scenery, so I just did it.
So you got married really young then?
Yes, I did.
Was it like, did you guys elope? Did you guys like do the whole wedding planning thing?
We moved out to California. It was kind of quick. We did it out there. Didn't have a lot of guests and stuff, but at the time, that's the proper thing to do.
Where did you choose California? Like where in California?
Central Coast, San Luis Obispo, Tascadero area.
How the hell is roofing out there in that heat, man?
We were on the coast, so
Okay.
it was kind of cool.
A little breezy. You got
Yeah.
that cool water breeze.
Yeah. At the ocean, the temperature's pretty regulated.
Okay.
You go in the desert, it's hot as hell.
A couple of roofers I met always bitch about roofing in August, and I'm like, man, you're in the wrong state to be bitching about roofing, dude.
So, boy or girl? Your first child?
I have all girls. I have 5 girls.
Oh, how's that?
I don't know. I tried all kinds of different things, but it didn't work out there.
Okay. What was it like becoming a dad at such an early age?
It was a learning experience. You got to grow up quick. And growing up, I was taught you get out of school, you get a job, take care of your family. That's just the way it was.
So 18, you move out to California. We're just trying to get like a grasp of it before we get into the, So 18, you move out to California. You said you're probably already on hard drugs then, right? So do you care to share a little bit about your life, like using, going to work, like how your wife felt about it? Did you care just,
She was using too.
Okay.
But I was making the money, and I felt that I work hard, I do a tough job.
Mhm.
I deserve to have a little fun.
Yeah.
But then it comes to the physical addiction part of it, to where you got to have it. And it started off with pills, and just worked up from there.
Was the snowball pretty quick for you, or did it take a while to get into the more harder things?
Yeah, because at that time, the pharmaceutical company, it was easy to get Vicodin, that's what they called it at the time. And then that got expensive because I had to have a lot of them. So then I went to Oxycontin, that got expensive. And then somebody showed us, here, take a sniff of this. It was heroin. And, I started snorting, smoking. Yeah, it was pretty quick.
Okay. Okay. How old are you now?
I'm 50, I'll be 57 in September.
Damn, so that's about 40 years ago.
Yeah, 30 plus years.
Okay.
Like that.
How long have you been clean, if you don't mind me asking?
I'll be 4 years in January.
Congratulations.
Yay.
That's a huge feat for anybody. Awesome. And then they said, I won't say they say, but I feel like your drug of choice, from what I understand, one of the hardest ones to get off of. So
Yes and no.
okay.
Yes and no. Because see, after a while, I was on the streets. I had a problem nodding, falling asleep. People steal your stuff. So I said, well, let's try to mix a little coke or meth into it.
Mhm.
In my opinion, the heroin, yes, it's a physical thing, but generally after a few weeks, you're good. The meth it takes a long time, because that really does a number on your brain chemistry. And I remember 6 months in thinking, listening to the craziest song on the radio, and I start crying. My emotions were all over the place. I didn't know how to think straight. And it took a long time for my thinking to get straight, off the meth.
How was psychosis, like meth psychosis?
I never really experienced that, because most of my meth was stuff we made,
Mhm.
So the stuff today is a lot different. I never really experienced that. So not that I'm aware of, but
Yeah.
I guess people with psychosis don't know it. So I could have been, I don't know.
Right. I was just curious.
Most people I've heard with that story anyways, it's like a bender of a week and a half, and they've been drinking, and it's like
Yeah.
there's a lot of other roles at play.
Yeah, lack of sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, like there's a lot more to it than just smoking meth. Like you've been on it for 2 weeks and you're drunk and you're whatever. Like you're going crazy no matter what.
So how long did you stay out in California?
5 years.
Was there like a reason you came back, or you just missed
Um,
home?
Family, family come back. My mom and dad are still here. My sister's in Illinois, and just, I missed it back here.
Mhm.
And then also the cost of living got really expensive.
Oh yeah.
What was your favorite part of California?
The Central Coast,
Okay,
the
but
ocean.
favorite, like what was it like? Did you surf or did it?
I tried that one time. It didn't
How
work
that-
out.
They didn't work.
No, I tried to block the surf with a surfboard.
Is there anything you miss about out there?
The weather, because it's sunny and 75 for 10 months straight. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful weather, and the ocean and the area, and then the whole vibe out there is really cool.
Is there any food out there that you can't get here?
Well, at the time, yeah, it was called Tri-Tip Barbecue out there. You go to the fair, you get a Tri-Tip barbecue sandwich, but that has migrated back here. But yeah, that was the one big thing out there.
So 5 years, man, you stay out there. How long were you married for?
1 month shy of 20.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow, well, congratulations on that. What happened there, if you don't mind my asking?
The drugs.
Understood.
The drugs.
That's still a damn long marriage, man.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I never wanted to assume, but I thought you were going to say you moved back by yourself. I never wanted to assume.
No, we had our young daughter, our oldest daughter, Valerie. We had another one out there, Kelsey, which you're going to learn more about. And then came back and then had a third. And then, I ended up getting divorced.
Moved back here, moved to Jackson?
Yep.
Okay. So what? So 5 years, 18. So what, you're about 24 now?
Yeah, 24. Yeah, 14, 25.
Okay, awesome. So you moved back. Is addiction getting worse, better?
Just kind of maintaining. You know, I was also a heavy drinker.
Okay.
You know, for a long, just to deal with the work and stuff. But I maintained for a lot of years. You know what I mean? Because I was making money, raising. I justified it that way. It was only in the last 3 or 4 years that it actually really got bad. To
Okay.
be honest with you. I consider myself functional, could afford it.
You said you were an IV user.
Yes,
Was that like immediate, or did you work up to that?
I worked up to that. To my early 20s.
Okay. So you continuously used intravenously until you got clean?
Yeah, pretty much every day.
Oh wow. Did you have to because I know some people their veins get shot and they have issues. So how was that handling that? Was that the point where you thought you were still maintaining, or is that
you get real creative on how to hit, and if all else fails, you put it up your ass.
Yeah. So a couple questions I feel like aren't addressed enough for people that use IV drugs. Were you more addicted to the drug towards the end of it or the IV use?
The process. No, it was. I was so physically addicted. I had to have it every day.
Okay.
I'd be insanely sick.
Because I've heard people not have dope but want to shoot up, so shoot up water or something just to get the feeling.
And that's crazy because I could be a couple days into a sickness, and if you knew it was on its way, it's really crazy. You instantly feel better. As long as you know what's coming, you'll feel better.
that's your brain though, right?
Yes.
That's
Yes, it
your
is.
brain. That's trauma can mimic the chemicals that you had in your system when you were experiencing trauma. So personally, I did a lot of acid, and a lot of really fucked up shit happened to me when I was on acid.
Mhm.
So when I would have a problem, I would get flashbacks. It was like my brain was on acid again, even though I hadn't touched it.
Wow.
So I just think that's insane because it does the same thing for it's coming. So your brain's like, oh, we're good.
Everything's all right.
Yeah. So that's just crazy that's a common theme with everybody,
Mhm.
how brains are weird.
Well, then we won't say too much into, I won't say the unthrilling parts, but we won't say too much there. Like I said, it's just to learn your story to get to where we need to understand you. So 24, you move back here, you say that you kind of just just get by, right?
Yeah.
Did you always have a motorcycle? Sorry.
I rode when I was younger.
Okay.
This is something that comes in recovery
Okay.
for me. I wouldn't want to get back into it. I remember sitting around, being broke, not having money, and wanting to do things. That's
Yeah.
the blessings of recovery is to be able to do those things I always talked about wanting to do.
Did you have to do everything high?
I didn't have, no, I was high all the time. And that's how I functioned. Things didn't feel right unless I was
Okay.
at that point.
I feel like the reason she's asking this is when I first got sober, I did everything drunk. So there was nothing that I wanted to do not drunk. Fishing, I didn't fish. I fished to catch a buzz. So I had such a hard time getting sober because I did everything drinking.
Mhm.
So it was so hard to want to do anything not drinking.
Let me reframe it.
Oh.
Did you have any hobbies while you were getting high? And then if you did, was it easy or harder to do them when you were sober?
I didn't do anything except exist.
Okay.
So,
Exist and work.
Yep.
So, I've tried a lot of new things in recovery. Some I like, some I don't. But,
Okay.
Okay, do you care to touch base on a couple jobs, and then we'll get into the last 4 years where you said it got really bad? I feel like this is, we'll get to the turning point.
Okay.
Any jobs that stand out, man, for 20 years?
I was a union roofer. So
Oh, okay.
I worked for a local, so that's what I did.
Oh shit, so you just roofed
20 some odd years, 26 years.
It's a hard fucking job.
What was one of the hardest roofs you've ever had to do?
It was commercial work, so a lot of high-rise stuff down in Detroit, Ann Arbor, stuff like that.
Any cool buildings?
Nasty pitches.
Fox Theater, all the buildings downtown, Renaissance Center,
Oh,
and on
cool.
top of that, a lot here in town.
Does the stigma go with that roofers do a lot of cocaine?
Yeah, anything, cocaine, smoking pot, it's the way you deal with the job.
Understood.
Well, because it's physically a lot,
Yes, it is.
like a lot. Were you ever afraid of heights?
No.
No?
No, not really. Yeah, after a while, I kind of now, but at the time you don't think about it.
You ever take a nasty fall?
No, those swallows would have been deadly.
Oh shit. Okay. Damn, man. Dude, that's still just a cool thing. I know people that roof and
We'd be crazy. We'd ride the crane ball.
Oh no.
Oh fuck no, dude! No fuck no! You catch me on a ladder shaking. I ain't riding no fucking paintball. What the fuck?
Yeah.
So you said the last 4 years of when it gets really bad. Let's start talking about when it gets really bad, so we can get to the turning point and then get to I don't take the good part because in anybody's story, it's the thing that changes that I'm like, I love hearing that from people. But you said, so what, you've been sober 4 years, so the last 4 years were terrible. So about 8 years ago, when did it really start getting bad?
I became homeless. I always had an apartment and stuff like that, but things just got so bad. I ended up on the street. Did some really crazy stuff. At the time, I wasn't really proud of it, but I'm kind of proud of now that a lot of the security measures at Allegiance are because of me today. Because back then, you could go into the hospital if you were dope sick, and they give you a shot of Ativan to help you out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I went in there and they gave me a shot. I think it was ketamine or whatever. But bottom line, I don't even remember. I freaked out and pulled the IV out of my arm and ran on a 45-minute naked streak of this hospital, patient rooms and stuff like that. So I'm glad I was able to contribute to the security of Allegiance.
You said that when did you and your wife split? Around this time?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, just before things really started getting bad, and then I started living on my own. I had a couple girlfriends.
Gotcha.
Stuff like that.
She started sobering up. What was that? What turned or?
No, it just she found another guy.
Understood. Understood. That's always hard, no matter what. Damn.
But after that, yeah, I went crazy. Spent some time in the Anderson building.
Okay.
And then my drug use really escalated. I stopped working at this point.
Okay.
And then just started at first couch surfing to where, and then living in the wood, wherever I could leave my head.
If you don't mind me asking, are you co-occurring? Do you have mental health issues as well, or was it just primarily?
At the time, they diagnosed me with that, but today I think I'm pretty sane. I like to think so.
I was just curious because I've dealt with the mental health side of things, not so much the substance use type of things. So what was
At one time I was on a lot of medications, and I think that just made the situation worse, to be honest with you.
okay? So what was like the Anderson like as somebody who uses and not necessarily struggled with some mental health issues?
I think some of the mental health issues were because of my using and situational mental health issues.
Yep.
So yeah, I was up there a lot, sometimes I used it to dodge probation when I was dirty, because I knew they couldn't come get me. But there was other times being up there, yeah, I was just going through it. I was suicidal.
Crisis.
Kill myself. Yeah.
Do you remember Newell from recovery court, bald head?
I do.
Okay, so Newell, when I first got into recovery court, man, I said, man, I need my medication. I need it. I have mental health issues.
Mm-hmm.
He said, just don't take it for a month and let's reevaluate. I'd be damned. I wasn't crazy. I was a fucking drunk drug addict. Like I sobered up and I'm like, wow, I don't need these meds. And, and then I get sober and, I might have some issues, but it's nothing that meds needed to handle. It's something I could handle. So it's just funny to me that it most of the time, if you sober up, you realize you're not as crazy as what you thought you were. Like you're not as fucked up. So, man, so damn. So you end up homeless. I don't know if people understand what it's like. Me and her were homeless, but I don't want to say there's levels. But I was homeless, but I had a job. I had a camper that was not great, but I had a camper to go to. What was it like living on the streets?
It's a constant hustle, state of survival. You know what I mean? Just going from one place to the other, and like I could go to a place and to stay there, I have to give up somebody. But when the drugs run out, 2:00 in the morning, you got to go. So then you wander the streets and just crash wherever. And I was in a spot, I was stuck, but didn't know how to get out of it. I knew I wanted some change, and then at some point, I kind of accepted my fate. This is the way it's going to be. I'm going to die this way.
What was the worst thing you've seen homeless?
Bringing people back that have overdosed. I've Narcan a lot of people, and that look of death. Fortunately, I've never lost anybody, but that's kind of tough.
Do you think the Good Samaritan law helped?
With people Narcan, I'm going to do it regardless.
Yeah, no, for sure. I agree.
I mean, and there's a lot of stigma attached to it and bias. So, and that's what we do at work. We're trying to change that with people. Narcan training, getting out there, and some of the readings is that the overdose deaths are coming down.
So what was it like before Narcan was widely accessible?
You would, all the things, ice them down, water them, slap them around, breathe for them. Messed up my high. So, bitch, wake up. So yeah, that was a lot of work back then because Narcan is such a miracle nowadays.
What they show in Pulp Fiction, is that real?
On the adrenaline in the heart?
No, I was just asking.
No.
Okay. I figured I'd ask.
I remember that scene.
Keep it lighthearted. I know it don't work, but that's
It's just you had to ask.
well, so, it's. He said he's lighthearted. I try to keep stuff lighthearted too. Because I believe I've been in some terrible situations. Get slapped around in an ice bath type situation. I understand or my buddy Cody fell out on a pool table, and when everybody, and I just never understood this. I will go to jail to make sure my buddy doesn't die. Period. I don't understand how that's ever a thought in your head. I'm gonna leave before the cops get here.
Some people panic.
Yeah,
They panic. That fight or flight response kicks in. They just panic.
I just could never leave somebody I know to die. I could never leave anybody to die, let alone somebody I know and love. That I could never leave them to die.
Absolutely not.
So you mentioned your daughter.
Mhm.
Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, that was everything was all I consider even on the streets. I'm functional. I'm doing what I want. Nobody telling me what to do. That all changed on June 12th, 2021. I didn't have a phone at that point, and I went to the plug's house to score, and she come down and just kind of looked at me. I'm like, what's going on? She goes, you don't know. And she said, well, your daughter was found dead this morning. And that messed with me. That was hard. That was really hard. After that, it was a suicide mission. I remember going up into the old Missioner plating there off of Trail Street and just not caring, not telling anybody, and just giving myself a massive shot. And somehow they found me and brought me back. After that. And it was shortly after that I started going to jail on a pretty regular basis, and decided to make a change. I was catching cases. I got caught with some fairly decent quantities, looking at some serious prison time. And I'm gonna backtrack this. A couple times earlier, I was in jail sick, and this was during COVID. And somebody said that they the lockdown unit where they took the inmates at Legis was filled with COVID people, and that they were taking people to doctors at the hospital. It's not so secure. So I get an idea to fake a heart attack and try to run. That didn't go good. So every time after that, I was automatically put in the stripes into an isolation cell. And on that last dope case in that isolation cell, my parents didn't want nothing to do with me. Nobody answered my calls. And after about 30 days of that, I'm sitting here thinking, God, why did you let my daughter die? But I'm thinking I'm going to go crazy. So at that point, I said, okay, God, you're my last option, and let's see what happens, And it was, they talk about the spiritual experience. But at that point, it was like, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. Like a sense of calm just came over me, a sense of peace that somehow everything was going to be all right.
Like a warm blanket.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
And I was there for another 20 days.
Mm-hmm.
But then, my mom and dad answered my calls finally. So I got some noodles that helped. And then Shelly Cosment from Recovery Court showed up and gave me that opportunity. And I haven't looked back since.
That's awesome.
If you don't
Shelly
mind,
helped save my life too.
I love Shelly.
She's such a great lady.
She's a big part of the cleanup. And to honor my daughter, I'm gonna start talking about some blessings. To honor my daughter, we do this Kelsey's Community Cleanup. It started as an idea because I used to stay in the camps, and one of the biggest issues in these camps is the trash accumulation, and people complain about it, and the police got to move people in, move them out. And so I just had a while, to help honor her, that last year to start this cleanup, but then it blossomed into something beyond my wildest dreams. And a funny story behind that is Shelly asked me to come back to Recovery Court to promote this because we were using Recovery Court community service people, but the turnout wasn't so good. So, I tell my story, and then when my old probation officer, Danielle, stands up and says, well, we got a conflict of interest, Your Honor. It seems like you scheduled this on a court date that everybody got to be in court. She says, I propose that we hold court at the cleanup.
Oh,
So from here on out, it's mandated for all the Recovery Court people to help with this cleanup.
that's beautiful.
hey, next time you have one, I won't speak for the brokerage house, but she pays me to clean out houses for her. I would be honored to come help you. Seriously.
Absolutely. We're setting up, we're going to try to do a fall one, but we're going to do it every year with the spring, and we're partnering up with other resources. Like I said, dental people, anybody that wants to come in and just kind of sweep the whole town and provide services, whatever people need, and it's going to continue on. That's what's so cool.
I'd love to. I'd love to be.
Absolutely. We'd love to have you.
I get a hold of Tony. We can talk about this after the air, but I do a lot of clean outs for her. I'll talk to you more about that because I know she would want in on this, but I get a lot of blankets. You guys accept blankets for the homeless people, correct? Or is that a Tony thing?
Yeah, that's kind of a thing that Tony had started.
Okay.
And then he kind of partners up with us because we don't want to be overwhelmed with blankets and stuff. But,
Right.
We're coming into that kind of weather, and at the moment we're trying to convince people to go into treatment or to help them get signed up for housing and stuff like that. But we're trying to prepare. Like last year, we had a donation for propane tanks. That's the beautiful thing about my job is they give me, mostly free reign to come up with ideas. Well, hey, let's get some guys together, get propane tanks out to help people, keep people
A
warm.
little salamander.
Well, just for barbecuing or for little heaters
right.
and stuff like that. A couple people have had fires, so we were able to put some tarps and tents together for them and stuff like that. 'Cause, a lot of our people are friends of mine.
I did just hear about the fire that they had recently.
There's been a few of them this year.
Is everybody okay?
Yes.
Okay. That's the one thing that worried me is that they weren't okay. So
Everybody's just fine.
So I am going to dig a little deeper on this. I apologize. What is your favorite memory of your daughter?
One of that no matter what, and she struggled with addiction also, but no matter what, she always showed people love, even after they did her dirty. She was always giving people grace, and she was the kindest soul you'd ever meet. She was, you grow up teaching your kids and hoping they do well in life, but in the end, she taught me so much more. Just the way to be, as a dad and stuff like that. She was a really, really good soul.
if it's okay that I ask, was her addiction the reason that she passed?
Yes and no. Yes and no. She was basically what's called a hot shot and get robbed because she was a hustler. She made money. I mean, her thing was benzos. She never, she knew the dangers of the opiates mixing the twos, and she would have never done that. But it was somebody give her a shot, so it took her out.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's the reason why I do what I do, and around it's a dream.
And it's crazy because normally but normally something like that, it always breeds something beautiful. Like something has to be fucked up for somebody to want to make something beautiful.
My goal in life at this point is to make sure as people talk, good, bad, or indifferent, long after I'm gone. And it's cool because for a lot of years I've taken from society and to be able to give back, and to sit around in the morning and think how I can make somebody's life a little bit better and get paid for it. Come on now.
That is the one blessing that this gave me, but recovery gave me. And I've always loved helping people, but you can't help somebody when you can't help yourself. So
Yes,
yeah.
You just sit and listen to them.
Understood.
Sometimes people just want to vent. Some people just want to, their stuff has been stolen all day. They just want they just want to be heard.
Just treat it like a person.
Right. Because I know exactly what that felt like. I'm never gonna forget it.
So how did you get off the street?
The locked up recovery court, and like when I got locked up, I literally I'd been in the same clothes, and I just made a decision that no matter what, I didn't, I'd already lost one kid. I didn't want to, die or whatever. I wanted to be a dad, and I just made it the most important thing in my life, and just worked my ass off. I got around the right people. I have a recovery family that is absolutely incredible. I got so many good, solid people in my life that, it's a dream. It's truly a dream come true.
How was phase one?
Pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Pain in the ass because at the time I was riding a bike, in an apartment outside of town. So I was riding. That's what I needed to do. I rode my bike everywhere. Then I bought one of those little motors. I did that. And then eventually got a car, got an apartment. Last October I became a homeowner.
Awesome.
2.5 years ago I became a father again to the most wonderful little girl in my life. And to be able to provide a stable home and that she's got parents that God willing will never know addiction again. It's a blessing. I can't count, the blessings that come, and it's God, man. It's all about God.
Did you have any hiccups in recovery court?
No.
Neither did I.
No, I flew right through it. I got off probation early. I did everything they told me. I started going, the meetings. I chair the same ANA meeting I've done since day one.
Awesome.
It's about staying connected.
Yeah.
I stay connected with my people.
What does the harm reduction mean to you personally?
Meeting people where they're at with no judgment. You know what I mean? Some people have a lot of stigma because yes, we do distribute syringes and other using supplies, but it's so much more than that. Mm-hmm. It's the propane in the winter, it's the blankets, it's being there for people, and the real blessing is when you have, you worry about somebody you haven't seen them in 3 or 4 months, and then they come back looking fat, healthy. Hey, how can I volunteer? I want to help people. Makes it all worth it.
It's the path of least resistance. So like if it's hard to shower, like if you can't physically get up and shower because you're so active in your addiction or your mental illness, wash your face, brush your teeth.
Yeah, we do
something
hygiene, wound care products, all kinds of stuff. We got a nurse that rides around with us, does foot care. We do stuff at the shelter. Like my entire life is based around recovery and helping people.
Well, one thing you said earlier, and I don't get to tell this story this much. I think it's some video, but there's this homeless guy begging, a cup of change or whatever. This guy walks by him, doesn't pay him no attention. A couple days later, guy walks by him, doesn't pay him no attention. Same thing, a couple days later, guy walks by him, doesn't pay him no attention. Well, the guy gets in a car accident and dies like 3 days later. He goes in front of the pearly gates, and St. Peter's won't let him in. And the guy's like, well, what the hell? And pretty much he said that you denied me in front of your friends. And it's just, and what I took out of it is God is everywhere. So you're not better than somebody that just keep walking by him. You're like, I don't do the video any justice, but it brings me to tears every time I watch it.
You asked a question of what harm reduction means. I can play a little, like a 1 minute 30 section.
Please do.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Where do you want it?
Yeah, right there's fine. I will move my mic. That's
Yep,
perfect.
let me adjust.
Tell me when you're ready. Just right here.
Because
Is it good?
man, I remember living at the bridge in Jackson, where the Taco Bell is at, and like the van coming, like you helping and like you finding me on Facebook, and then like coming to meet me at Home and New Vision. Like you've been a very positive impact in my life. Don't mind me getting a little emotional. Woo! But bro, I got an apartment. My son and I are not homeless. We are okay. Like it's gonna be a lot of work and like, you know, a lot of things to handle. But they're wonderful things to handle if that makes sense. Like, man, I was smoking fucking meth under a bridge, not but what, 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, and now I'm sober, and I have a house that I can set up an art studio in, and I just wanted to say thank you, man, for just believing in me. Keep doing what you're doing because you're changing lives. I appreciate you more than I can say.
That's harm reduction.
That's beautiful. That's
That is beautiful.
I get teary every time I play.
Yeah.
man.
It's raw, emotional, it's deeply connected to your people. And you know, hurt people help people. But then, you know, hurt people also hurt people. But I think for the most part, hurt people help people.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's fantastic. Sorry, I got a little.
To me every time I know that too. You guys are good.
Man, no, that's what. If I could describe what I think of recovery, it should be. It's that like that. But that embodies a lot of what it should be or what it could be.
And we just try to figure out whatever path people want to take.
Yeah.
You know, let's do this today, a little something today. So, you know, okay, you're doing meth, heroin, and all this. Let's try cutting this down a little bit, and then maybe start thinking about getting people to take baby steps, and then realizing their own purpose in life and that they are worthy and that they can live a good life.
Well, and then you mentioned people have a problem because you're handing out syringes and things like that. I think it's safer because that is harm reduction because it's not scrounging for dirty needles.
We see some absolutely horrific wounds on people. You know, we have one particular client, you know, and the power of addiction that she has lost her arm. She's about to lose her leg, but she still continues to get high. And at that point, all you can do is pray, you know, and just keep doing what we're doing, you know, because, you know, I've had a lot of close friends die, you know, and that sucks, you know, but when I hear recordings like that, that's what keeps me going.
The one
And then my coworker, I get the best coworkers in the world, man. I couldn't even tell you.
Awesome. The one thing that I like about recovery now, and I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth, but when I went to recovery court, it was 5 AA meetings a week. That's what it was, 5 AA meetings.
Pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Didn't want to do it.
Yeah, but I like how it transformed. From what I understand, it's not 5 AA meetings a week. It can be 2 AA meetings, a couple NA meetings, and go to church.
Some kind of recovery.
Yeah, so I think that's beautiful how that's even transitioning. That 12 steps is not the only path to recovery. There is so many different. Mine started just this time around. I just went back to church. You know, and that worked for me at the beginning. Then I started going to AA. But some people don't need the 12-step meeting. Some people need smart recovery. Some people need to there is other ways besides the 12 steps.
And community. You know, it's all about people. Yeah. You know, it boils down down to being around positive people and doing positive things, you know.
And I think my favorite metaphor goes into so much more in life. If you hang around 5 bums, you'll be the 6th. If you hang
You
around,
become what you hang around.
yeah, exactly. So it's like, so in recovery, if you want to stay sober, probably pick people that you think have it. I mean, not that it's. I hear the saying, we all have this one day or whatever. Like, you know, you're sober today, I'm sober today.
Mhm.
I still want to hang around people that have a lot more days than I do. That's me personally.
Yeah, you know, one of my paths is kind of funny because I remember I was at Harbor Hall, that's where I went to rehab,
Okay.
and I'm getting ready to get out, and I was a participant at Harbor. I used to go in and get syringes, and you know, what do you want to do when you get out? I said, I want to go back, start volunteering, and they said, oh, you can't do that here, and that goes back to my rebellion. You can't do that. You're gonna watch me. Watch me. So you know, it's kind of come, that rebellion has come full circle. I'm still rebellious as hell, anyways. But just tell me I can't do something. Watch me do it.
Man, that's awesome that you're doing that.
Thank you.
I applied at Home New Vision. Dave did not hire me. I was trying for that.
Keep trying.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going
Keep
to.
trying.
You know.
Best group of people you'll ever
Yeah.
meet.
Well, you know, and I used to know that the people before, like Riley and like all of them, went on to bigger, not bigger and better, but went on to, they progressed in their careers. A lot of people I knew initially left, and then Dave took over. Tony works. You know, I can't say too many, but yeah, I'm going to keep trying because that it's something about helping people, man. That's just beautiful.
As the people ask me, so you want to try something different? I said, no, I want to be in the trenches. That's exactly where I want to be. That's what I love to do. You know, so it gets me up in the morning, other than my little daughter.
It's God's work.
Yes.
It really is.
It feels so good to, you know, just like I said, just listen to somebody, take the time out to listen to people. You know, in the world today, the human connection has been lost.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I'm a people person. I like to make people laugh. I like to cut up, you know, and it's just that's who I've become.
And the amount of things you learn from people and the talent that you see from people.
Best group of people you'll ever meet out there, because, you know, and a lot of times I think that's the theory, is like, you know, people have overactive minds, you know, but like this guy is an absolutely amazing artist. I mean, some of his work is, you know, and he's gonna draw me a sleeve,
Nice.
nice little dragon sleeve and stuff. He's so grateful. But yeah, some of the most talented people, you know, that's what I want to run with, man. I want to hang out with convicted felons. Best group of people you ever meet.
And they're also, I feel, the safest around convicted felons.
It's some of the strongest people, because it seems like right now a lot of my friends are going through stuff, but we're all together. We're all going through it together. I've got stuff going on. Everybody's got stuff going on right now, you know, but that's okay. We'll get through it.
Mine and Katie's, we don't know what our business idea is yet. We're working on that. We don't want to always work for the man, you know, but no matter what, it's going to be called second chances, and we're only hiring felons, period. Because I don't, it just off of what you said, that is like, and they are the hardest working I'm a convicted felon. We are the hardest working motherfuckers you'll ever meet. Like,
Yeah.
There's a lot of things you can say about us that are good as well as that, but
I'm
most
proud of it.
yeah, oh yeah, 100%, man. Well, Judge Jordan's still your judge, right?
Yeah.
Man,
I love that joke.
love
She's the one that mandated everybody to be at the cleanup.
No kidding.
And if you didn't show up, you got to do a weekend in jail.
Oh shit.
I love it. I love it.
That's fantastic.
I love her too. Man, who was your first judge before you got bonded over?
The lady downstairs. I can't remember her name.
Bates?
Yes.
Bates.
Yeah, she don't like me.
Yeah, she's hard to deal with. I mean,
And then they were. I mean, the probation officers are hard. They just want to test you and see, you know, what you're doing and stuff. But the recovery court saved my life.
no, 100%, 100%.
Because I was going to die with a needle in my heart.
And I think it's crazy going from being on probation, fucking up. It's like I was scared all the time, and then I actually do it right, and I'm like, I'm not scared at all, because you're actually doing what they want.
Feels like a setup.
Yeah. It's like, fuck, I'm not. She'd call me, hey, we don't need to see you this month. I'm like,
What I do?
well, yeah, what I do? Am I going to jail? Fuck.
Have you ever burned a bridge on purpose, and how do you feel about it now?
Yeah, my ex-wife. And I'm totally good with it.
Who's the most influential person in your life today?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Were you always a Christian, or did that happen after your spiritual awakening?
I grew up I'm a recovering Catholic. I grew up Catholic. I had it down my throat, told what to do. So I rebelled against it. And then after my daughter passed, I was really angry at it. But I'll never forget that feeling in that isolation cell. I didn't believe in God for a long time, but that reaffirmed that, yeah, it's real. And then, positive energy breeds positive energy, negative breeds negative energy. And, if you follow your gut and do the right thing, good things and believe, things happen. It's crazy. I cannot explain it. I can't understand it. I don't care, but it works.
Well, it takes the miracle away if you explain it,
Right.
I think it's Matthew. I actually think Jerome wrote this. I think it's Matthew 6:33, but don't quote me. My favorite Bible quote ever is that the bird wakes up and he knows he's going to get the worm, and the wolf wakes up not worrying that his fur is going to come in for winter. God always has you. Like, no matter what, God has you. So,
sometimes he's got a little sense of humor, but
Oh yeah.
he does.
but in the end, it all works out.
Katie likes telling this story. I said, God, I need a sign. I need it right in front of my fucking face, or I'm not.
He was like, "You got to give me a hand." And we were walking down the street, go a couple blocks. He looks down at the stop sign because we're about to cross, and there's a tiny little doll hand on the ground.
So, yeah.
I swear.
Yeah, fucking
It's on.
yeah.
Just like a hand, lay on the ground.
So she said that whenever somebody says God has a sense of humor, he sure fucking does.
He does. 100%.
And it would be boring without life challenges and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Well, and it takes the fun out of the victory if there wasn't hardship to get to it, because there's no such thing as victory if it wasn't hard before. It's just going about life.
How do you navigate burnout? Like, in general.
When I go home at the end of the day and my 2-year-old comes running up to me, Dad, dog goes away. I'm a busy person. I don't sit down for very long. I guess I'm high energy. Yes, there are hard days. We got people that are being difficult. But at the end of the day, when I go home, that child dog goes away.
Do you have any other self-care stuff besides time with your kids or time on your bike?
That's pretty much it. You know what I mean? Just go home, relax, and I like work. I do construction on the side too because I don't do this job for the money. But I like to work on my house. I finish the floors and work out in the garage and tinker, stuff like that.
How old are your tattoos?
Over the years,
Is it serotonin, dopamine?
I can't say.
Oh, okay. I was just curious. I couldn't see the whole thing.
I really like the style. That's why I was curious.
I can tell you off the record.
Right.
Okay, random question. If you could be a host on a game show, what show would it be?
I like Family Feud.
I do too.
I like Steve Harvey.
Oh yeah.
I think I could get up there and clown around a little bit.
Who's your favorite Family Feud host?
Steve Harvey.
Is it, man? Mine
I
was
don't
Richard
even-
Dawson. Mine was Richard
I
Dawson.
never remember.
Yeah,
There was
I
three.
remember Richard Dawson.
There's Richard Dawson and then that other guy. I don't remember his
With
name.
Richard Card.
Yep.
Which was
Steve Harvey just says off the wall on the slide. It's just freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
Some people don't realize.
How is your relationship with your parents now?
Great. We talk every day.
That's great.
We talk every day. There was a time when I went to their house wanting food, and I remember coming out. And I wasn't even allowed in the house. Yeah. And they're getting up in age, got some health problems, but yeah. I talk to them every day.
That's a fucking awesome feeling. I know personally, watching my mom and dad got to see me get sober. That had to have been awesome for you to know.
And it really, my dad he was in the Navy.
Mhm.
So I guess I never felt any kind of validation. Because I was always a mess up, but the day he said he was proud of me,
Did you ever go into the Navy?
I was too busy getting high.
Um,
Girls.
I was with somebody in front of Thomas. I think it was Thomas before we got bonded over to recovery court. And you just look familiar, but I guess that some guy was in the Navy and he got 7411 and you just resembled him. So I was just curious. I was just curious.
Never no military service.
Okay, I have 2 questions.
Okay.
What restores your faith in humanity?
Doing what I do.
And then what is the biggest piece of wisdom that elders can offer anybody?
Do you live your own life? Get comfortable in your own skin. Don't rely on anybody for anything. Don't set any expectations. And nobody's promised tomorrow. You never know when you're gonna wake up dead. So live your life the way you want to live it. Don't let anybody else dictate it. What you do.
We like making sure that we covered what the guest expected to cover. Like, 'cause sometimes we don't. You have to ask the right question to get the right answer, and sometimes we don't ask the right questions, which we're aware of. We're working on that, clearly. But is there anything from childhood that we did not cover that you think that you would have liked to?
No, everything's good.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure because sometimes I know we jump around because we think and stuff, and so I just like making sure that the guest was happy with how the interview.
You guys have done an amazing job.
Awesome. Thank you.
Is there anything we can do better?
Keep doing what you're doing.
Who was your least favorite judge? I gotta ask. Bates. Okay, I got it.
She does not like, and I had to go in there the other day for somebody on some other stuff, and she remembered me, and I got to look.
Okay, this one seems fun. Who is the biggest jerk you've ever met?
I don't want to call him out, but there's a big jerk that's been in my life lately that that me and the mother of my significant other actually are dealing with right now. That has caused a lot of problems for no particular reason, but that's on them. I really don't want to call them out.
Understood.
Okay.
Are you both in recovery?
Yes.
Did you meet in recovery?
No, we were hopelessly addicted together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were the couple yelling and screaming at each other down the road and fighting. Yeah, so it was real bad. Really proud of the mother of my children because she is the most amazing mom. And considering all the stuff that's gone on lately, she's just a trooper, and she's changed so much. I'm so proud of her, and we get along good. The way she takes care of our daughter is just incredible. Her name's Courtney.
A question that I never asked my mom, but I'm going to ask you. My mom had me at about 45. How is it having a kid this late in life?
At first, like, what the fuck?
Fair enough.
Not at my age, but man, I don't like, I always considered myself a good father, but I was never there. I was working all the time. I thought being a good father was just providing things, but I wasn't there. And to be there, I got a lot more patience and can notice things. So it's a blessing. I wouldn't, it's like a second. It's like, who gets to have two families in a lifetime?
Not many.
I wouldn't trade it for. It's just her name's Bryn. She's the love of my life, man. She's so funny, and I get to teach her things and mold her into what she is, and I get to. She works on stuff, but my goal in life is when she's grown up to teach another guy. So to make her, to have her be an independent person and not rely on anybody.
What is the worst piece of advice you've ever gotten?
Get married.
Okay. I get it.
Right.
I have to hear that from a lot of people.
Don't get me wrong. It was good for a lot of years and stuff like that.
It's not always sunshine and rainbows, I will say that.
No,
Hopefully someday I'll get married. Right now it's not in the cards.
fair
Not
enough.
too much fun.
Is there anything? We're getting close to the end.
Okay.
But I always ask this question. Never feel rushed because I say we're getting close to the end, and I probably end up talking for another 10 minutes. But is there anything that I didn't ask that I should have?
You guys covered it pretty good.
Okay, awesome.
That's who I am. You guys exposed that.
No, thank you.
Thank you. No, really, that is the goal, is to show people for who they are, but not in a bad way, that you can do fucked up shit and to find grace again.
And then-
People recover all the time, man. And it can happen to people. It can happen to anybody. If you want to put in the work, you can do it. Anybody can do it.
I think it's beautiful though that people go through so much stuff and they still can be their authentic selves.
Mhm.
Or like they didn't know who they were until after everything, and then now they're living their best life, doing what makes their heart happy, or helping other people, or owning a business, or whatever that may be.
Mhm.
Yeah, because the whole we do recover is like clearly we recover from alcohol, drugs, whatever. But I also transform that into like you can recover from a shitty mindset. You can recover from financial ruin. Like there's a bunch of stuff that you can
Yeah,
change in your life.
Absolutely.
Like it's there's been people bankrupt. I mean, a lot of these billionaires that I follow, it's like they were bankrupt for the first 30 years of their life. Like they were not rich. They were nobodies. You know, it's like I think people quit. Well, it's an AA thing, but or NA thing. People quit before the miracle happens. Like they'll be right there knocking on that door, and then they'll walk away before it opens.
I did that for a lot of years, self-sabotage. Fear, I don't know if it was fear of success or whatever it was. I get to accomplishing something and somehow I always manage to mess it up.
It's the change, or it's your brain.
Fear of something different.
Your brain can't handle the calm. Your brain needs the chaos to feel
I got
normal.
so used to that. And like for the first year of my recovery, it was awkward.
Yeah.
It was awkward, but people just told me, keep pushing through. It'll be all right. It'll be all right.
Yeah, I just passed the 18-month mark. I'm almost to 2 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And somebody told me about how 18 months always sucks. It's a not a stereotype, you know, like how a black cat walks in front of you. What's that?
Oh, superstition.
It's like a superstition, but dude, my life came crumbling apart at 18 months. Like it did. I lost my job, really well-paying job. Everything went to shit, and that's when I really had to buckle up. But when one door closes, another one opens. Like I was never going to do what I wanted to do if I was working there because I was making too much money, being mediocre, doing my thing. I never did anything more.
You're never going to be given something you can't handle.
Yep. So that's God kicking me in the ass, saying,
Yeah.
you got to go do something.
And you know, in every negative situation, if you look hard enough, there's something positive, if anything, to be learned.
Yeah.
You know, and to move forward.
Just underbid a job. Dude, very
It
bad.
happens.
And but I saved face and I broke even. And after we talked a little bit, he said, "Do you want to paint these barns?" I said, "Well, that's how it works. Like that's how it works, man."
Just do the next right thing.
Before the rest of the wrap-up questions, what is the hardest lesson you have ever learned?
Dealing with the death of my daughter.
My mom and dad lost my daughter, my sister. If you could put it into words, how was that? Losing a child.
It was devastating. I lost my mind. And I just got news, a really good friend of mine, his adult son was just found to suicide, going through some mental health issues. And all I can say is, I know how it feels. And to be there for him. But like I said, what doesn't kill us makes us stronger. And when you go through some shit, you know, something like that, and come out the other side, you feel like you can tackle anything.
Yeah.
And grief can be like this ugly monster, right? But it also it transforms. I feel like there are instances where it doesn't, and there are instances where it's like it literally transforms your whole life because the lesson, like should-haves, would-haves, and could-haves, which are very hard for some people.
Yeah, I went through that for a long time.
Yeah.
Well, and it's easy to say that God has a plan to somebody that's grieving because they don't want to fucking hear that.
No,
but
no.
don't say it. But in the grand scheme of things, I don't understand why things happen. So normally stuff happens for a reason. But in the middle of grief, that is the last thing to fucking tell me. I don't want to hear that,
Right.
People stick to cliches and social conventions to try to be supportive. So
well, it's just changing who you are. Like the whole monotone. How was your day? I started asking what was your favorite part of the day, because I'm trying to care a little more. It's like, how was your day? Good. What was the favorite part of your day? Just changing who you are a little bit, it can impact other people so tremendously.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, so our wrap-up questions are all the same between every person. I already asked one of them. If there's anything I missed that you'd like to share.
No, you guys have done an amazing job.
Perfect. I've really enjoyed your story in this episode. I say, I like everybody's story. Some I like more than others, and I've been very vocal about that. I loved your story. Thank you for saying it. My only wrap-up question: what is your definition of success?
Being able to wake up every day alive, keeping it simple.
Yep.
just living. You know, there was a time I didn't have toilet paper to wipe my ass. You know, take nothing for granted.
Yeah.
Live every day like it's your last.
Mhm.
Katie?
If you met younger you, would you get along with younger you? Or
Probably
vice
not.
versa?
Probably not. Asshole.
So what about younger you and you now? Do you think younger you would get along with you now? Even though you didn't
I
like
try to
younger
get
you?
along with everybody. Yeah, I think so. Honestly.
Would you have any advice for younger you?
Yeah, don't do drugs.
Fair enough. Fair enough. If you had one word to describe your entire journey from where you started to where you are now, what would it be?
Blessed.
Okay.
We don't have very many overlaps, but we asked that on purpose because I believe successful people eventually will overlap. You are the second person to say blessed.
It's also for science because
Yeah.
I like data, but
Right.
I don't remember who else. No, it's interesting to me because they say that all successful people have some things in common, and the only thing that I have found in common is that they don't give up. Besides, like that was the first time I heard the same word. So
I don't really want to see myself as successful. I just want to be able to provide and do what I want out of life.
yeah, but that
You
is
know, I don't measure. I don't like to measure success. You know, I'm just grateful to be able to do what I want.
well, success is a blanket term, right? So
Okay.
like you successfully got clean, you successfully started helping other people, you successfully have the life that you want to lead.
Mhm.
It's just not what everybody else thinks of success. It's what you think of success.
that's why I asked that question. That's really why I asked that question because like when I'm like I'm not that successful, but there's probably 100 people looking at you like I wish I could do that. That's success, man. Now you got something. That
I disagree.
well, I'm not saying
I think
that.
it matters in here.
Well,
not-
no, I didn't mean that's success, but I'm saying like for you, getting clean, man, that's successful in itself. In my opinion.
That's something I'd accepted my fate.
Yeah.
I was gonna die of doping, you know,
Mhm.
and I accepted it. You know, I wanted to make some changes and I just did not know how to do it.
Yeah.
You know, and it took getting locked up and clearing my mind for a little bit to start thinking about making some changes.
What was before I give the gift card? What was the turning point? I think we already talked about, it, but what was the exact moment? Was it when you were in the jail cell and you were like, "Fuck"?
Yeah, that spiritual
Okay,
experience
okay.
was the powerful thing I felt in my life.
Okay, I
It's
wanted
just that sense of calm because I'm literally thinking I'm going crazy in here. You know, I was like an animal in a cage, walking in circles. Just my mind was gone, and then that sense of peace and calm when I finally turned it over to God.
Mhm.
I can't describe it.
I know exactly.
I
I get a little emotional. I know exactly because I thought I was gonna die on cocaine, laying up in bed. He's passed out. I didn't know if he was breathing. I'm freaking myself out. And the same thing, and it really was. It was like a warm blanket from my feet all the way up of just calm. And I went to sleep, and we haven't touched it since.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So this week, I didn't know what you were into. We try to do local businesses for local people, gas cards for people traveling. We've done a lot of local businesses. I'm glad I got this because you seem like a handyman. So Ace Hardware's mission is to be the best provider of products, services, and operating methods for convenience hardware
Retailers around the globe.
I go to the one on Spring Arbor all the time.
Their
Perfect.
core values
Thank you.
include We Light, which is winning excellence, love, integrity, gratitude, humility, and teamwork.
Awesome.
Yes, sir. So it's not much,
I
but
didn't
it'll be,
expect this at all. So
It's the least we can do.
thank you.
yep. That is our stick, dude. And that is also our stick. Would you sign our table before you go?
It is a paint
Awesome.
marker. You might need to prime it, but all right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for watching.
Awesome.
Right here, everybody can see it. I can't sound.
Sign as big or as small as you want.